A year ago, I was completely broke. Not like, oh, I didn't have much money. I mean, genuinely, properly broke. Checking my bank balance before deciding if I could afford a meal deal broke. Telling myself I'd sort it out soon. Every single week broke. I had no degree, no connections, no mentor pulling me aside and telling me what to do. I had a laptop, a bad Wi Fi connection, and people around me who thought I was wasting my time. Now I'm 21 years old and I make over £3,000 a month online, from my bedroom, without a boss, without set hours, without asking anyone for permission. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I got there. The full story, the failures, the moments where I nearly quit, and the thing that actually changed everything. No course to sell you, no affiliate links, no motivational nonsense. Just the truth, because nobody told me any of this, and I genuinely think they should have. I want to be real with you from the beginning because I think a lot of these videos skip this part. I wasn't someone who had a dramatic rock bottom moment. There was no single day where everything fell apart and I rose from the ashes. I just looked around one day, at the job I was in, at the money I had, at where things were heading, and I thought, this isn't it. I was doing work I didn't care about for money that barely covered anything, and I kept watching people online, people my age or younger, building things, earning things, living differently, and I couldn't figure out what they knew that I didn't. So I started trying things, drop shipping first. I spent money on a course, set up a store, ran some ads, lost more than I made, shut it down. Then freelancing. Got one client doing social media stuff. Lost them after 2 months. Couldn't figure out how to get the next one. Affiliate marketing after that. 4 months of work, made about £12. £12? Every single time something didn't work, I had to sit with that feeling of, okay, that wasn't it. What's next? And every time I started something new, the people around me got a little more skeptical. A few of them told me directly, just get a proper job. Stop chasing things. Be realistic. And honestly, part of me understood where they were coming from. From the outside, it probably did look like I was just failing at things over and over. But I kept going. Not because I was full of confidence. I really wasn't. I kept going because every time I thought about giving up, the alternative felt worse. Going back to just accepting things, deciding that this was just how it was going to be. That felt worse than failing again, so I kept going. I found YouTube content creation almost by accident. I'd been watching faceless channels for a while, and you know the ones. No face on camera, just a voice, some footage, and a topic. And I'd been watching them for months before it even occurred to me that I could just do that. So I started a channel, and for the first 3 months, almost nothing happened. A few hundred views on a good week. Subscriber count moving so slowly it felt pointless. I'd spend hours on a video and it would get 40 views. Most people would have quit there. Most people do quit there. And I get it. There's nothing more demoralizing than putting real effort into something and feeling like no one cares. But I changed my approach. Instead of just making videos and hoping, I started actually studying. I watched everything I could find on how the algorithm works. What makes people click? What makes people stay? I looked at channels that were growing fast and asked, what are they doing that I'm not? I started treating it like a skill to learn, not a lottery to win. And slowly, things started to shift. The videos got better. The thumbnails got better. The titles got better. Not overnight. Not in one moment. Just incrementally better, week after week. Then about 4 months in, one video did something different. It wasn't viral. It wasn't millions of views. But it got 10 times more views than anything I'd made before. And I remember sitting there watching the number go up and thinking, okay, this is real. This can actually work. I just have to keep going. Month 6 was when things started to change properly. I hit 1,000 subscribers and crossed the 4,000 watch hour mark, which is what you need to get monetized on YouTube. And I got my first payment from ad revenue. It was £62. I know that sounds like nothing, and financially, it was nothing. But it didn't feel like nothing, because £62 from something I built on my own, with no boss and no one telling me what to do, that felt completely different to any money I'd earned before. That was the moment I fully believed it was possible. Not hoped, believed. From there, I went even deeper. I got obsessive about improving every single part of the process. Thumbnails. I studied what worked and completely changed my style. Titles. I tested different formats until I found what made people click. Scripts. I got more focused, cut the fluff, made every video tighter, and the channel started to compound. That's the thing about YouTube that most people don't talk about enough. Old videos keep getting views. The algorithm keeps recommending things that worked. Every video you make is like a tiny asset that keeps working for you even when you're not. By month 9, I was making around £1,000 a month from the channel. By month 12, I crossed 3,000, and the number has kept going up since. But honestly, the money is almost secondary to what it represents. It represents not having to ask anyone for permission to live differently. That's the part that actually matters to me. I want to be careful here because I don't want this to turn into one of those videos. You know the ones, 10 lessons I learned that will change your life. And then it's just generic advice you've heard 100 times. So I'm going to tell you the things that actually mattered, the real ones. The first thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is that there is no secret method. I wasted so much time looking for the thing that nobody else knew about. The niche that wasn't saturated, the platform that was blowing up, the strategy the gurus hadn't found yet. And the whole time I was looking for that. People who just picked something and committed were lapping me. The method doesn't matter that much. What matters is whether you're willing to be bad at something for long enough to get good at it. Most people aren't. That's not me being harsh, it's just true. And it means that if you are, you're already ahead of most people without doing anything special. The second thing, the people who doubted me weren't bad people. I want to be clear about that. Most of them genuinely thought they were looking out for me. But here's what I eventually understood. Their opinion about what was possible for me was based entirely on what they believed was possible for themselves. And most of them had never tried to build anything outside of the normal path. So when they told me to be realistic, they weren't telling me about my limits. They were telling me about theirs. I stopped explaining myself to people who weren't building anything. Not in a dramatic way, I just stopped seeking their approval for the direction I was going. And that shift alone removed a huge amount of weight. The third thing, and this is the one I think about the most, consistency is so boring to talk about because everyone says it. But I genuinely don't think people understand what it actually means in practice. It doesn't mean posting when you're motivated. It doesn't mean grinding when things are going well. It means showing up on the weeks where nothing is working. You have no views, no momentum, and a voice in your head telling you it's not going to happen. Those are the weeks that determine everything, because everyone else is quitting on those weeks. And if you don't, you're the one still standing when things turn around. And they always turn around. I'm 21 years old. I know I'm at the very start of this. And I don't want to stand here and act like I've figured everything out because I haven't. But if I could go back to 17, 18, 19-year-old me, sitting there feeling stuck and not knowing how any of this works, heck, I'd say this. Stop waiting to feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling you get before you start. It's something you build by starting anyway. You do not need a degree. You do not need money. You do not need someone to give you a chance. The internet has made it possible to build something real from absolutely nothing. And the only thing standing between you and that is whether you're willing to keep going when it's hard. I was broke. I had people doubting me.